Welcome to today's session. Today we are going to move to module 2, which focuses on research design. In this module, we'll be looking into the research design, its importance, key components of research design, its features in the first phase. Let's get into it. What is research design? Think of a research design as the blueprint or the master plan that guides your entire research journey. Just like an architect wouldn't start building a house without having a proper detailed plan. You cannot conduct meaningful research without a solid research design. What is research design? At its core, research design is a structured plan for conducting research. It clearly spells out how you will collect, analyze, and interpret data. It specifies everything from the methods you will use, the sampling process, to the measurement tools that is involved to it. Why is all this planning so important, or why is research design so important? Is it helps to ensure that your research is logical, it is systematic, and it is reliable. Let's just get into the importance of research design. Imagine you are a business aiming to understand why your sales are dropping. You jump straight into asking customers questions, but without a plan would result to a unreliable or a biased or a scattered data. But when you have a good research design, it means it ensures, minimizes bias and errors. It enhances credibility. It saves time and resources, and it ensures that your research can be generalized beyond the sample, making it useful for a strong or wider decision making. Sorry. So what do you mean by this minimum bias and errors? Actually, it keeps the research objective will be very clear and data will be trustworthy. And also, I said it is highly credible. Sound design adds weight to your findings, making them more acceptable by stakeholders. In other terms, high credibility will lead to more reliable outcomes. And also, when you have a proper research design, it saves your time, it avoids unnecessary duplication of your work, and which might lead to a kind of result which is totally unfair. So, what are the key components of research design? Research design, first, let's start with research questions and objectives. When we talk about objectives, what exactly are you trying to find out? For example, what factors influence customer loyalty in a retail store? If you could recollect the example which we were touching upon, just think about the objective or the question that you want to raise. What are the factors that really influences customer loyalty in a retail store? Moving to another important component is selection of variables and measurement tools. So fixing a right objective is very important, and asking or uh, shooting a right research question to get a clear objective is very important. So when once you are clear with your objective, selection of variables and its measurement tools is the next crucial phase, wherein what will you measure and how? Say, measuring service quality by customer ratings on a scale of 1 to 5. So here, we have to choose the variables. The variable chosen is service quality. And how are we going to measure? In other terms, how are we going to scale down the customer ratings to a scale of 1 to 5? And there are also many other methods like ranking or rating scales or Likert scale, very commonly used one by researchers is Likert scale. It may have 5 scale or 7 scale, depends on the choice of their field. Okay, and sampling techniques and methods is the next important component of research design. So once you have identified the variables, then we have to identify sampling techniques and the methods with which you are going to proceed. Who will you study? Will you randomly select your customers or use certain sampling methodology for a specific group? Something which we have to ask. This will lead to the data collection procedures. So once you have identified, have a clear objective, selected the variables, the measurement tools and the sampling techniques, then is how are we going to collect this data? So when we talk about data, the data is collected from the field or primary source. How are you going to gather? Is it going to be a survey, or is it going to be through observations, or is it going to be through interviews, or is it going to be done based on certain techniques? So what could be the data collection procedure you are going to imply for your research? So once you have collected the data, next is the analysis. Will you be using descriptive statistics, regression analysis, or some kind of thematic analysis? So when you ask such questions, this will give you a clarity as to fix a clear research design for your research work. Moving to the next is how when can we say that a particular research design is good? Okay, so first is when we can call a research design as something that is valid and good when we see a character of neutrality, which means it ensures your data handling and interpretation is based on a clear objective and not influenced by any kind of personal bias. And the next important feature is, good quality of a research design is reliability. Your methods should yield consistent results if repeated under similar conditions, which means, for example, a customer satisfaction survey produce stable results even if you are conducting the same kind of research again and again. Okay, so which means reliability even if you could change the environment or change the group of audience who are going to respond, there should be stability or the results that it is yielding should be consistent. Then we can call that methodology or that particular research design as something which is reliable. The third important feature is validity. The research actually measures what it intends to do. If you are studying about the variable, the concept of loyalty, questions must truly reflect loyalty behaviors, not it should be closely connected or it should be valid and relevant and not far from it. It should surround the maybe the variables connected to it and not far from it. And another feature is generalizability. The findings should apply beyond just your studied example. For instance, insights from a sample of customers in one city should help understand customers nationwide. Okay, and another important feature is planning, advanced planning. Preparing detailed steps beforehand helps avoid kind of confusions that can arise during the research phase. Another important feature I would say is efficiency. Like how efficient is based on the research design that you prepare. So if you want your research to be highly efficient, balancing proper time, proper incurring cost, and proper utilization of resources, then the need for having a right design is very important. So when you have a proper research design that will save your time, cost, and resources, which will yield to optimum results without any waste. Quick questions for to raise when you work on good designs is what is the study about, what is the study required, where and on whom will the study be carried out, how will data be collected and analyzed, Try to answer these questions. For example, in the example which we were discussing, so what is the study is all about? It's customer loyalty, right? We said about customer loyalty, and what is the why is the study required? Because we find that there is a dropping in the sales, dropping in the satisfaction level of customers. In order to reverse and help enhance repeat purchases, we are looking forward to do this study. And where and on whom will the study be conducted? In store customers in the certain locations if you have fixed any demographical behavior. And how will data be collected and analyzed? Of course, it is from the customers through surveys, and this data which is collected has to be analyzed using a regression methodology to identify the required output. Okay. So just to recap, good research design is the foundation of credible, useful, and impactful research outcomes. When we apply these principles which we have discussed now, of course, this principle will help us to define a clear research design which will lead to a better output in the work which you are intending to do. So in the coming phase, we'll be discussing about the various types of research. Having after once the design is done, then